Let's talk about ambiguity today. You know that feeling you get where nothing really feels good? I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. Where it's kind of hard to make a decision because nothing's really resonating with a whole lot of clarity. Let's talk about how to navigate that today. Hi, I'm Kieran with Mystic Girl in the City, and a little mystic advice can be really helpful for you to live with more freedom and more peace, and we all want some of that. So let's talk about ambiguity, which is that feeling of hard to make a decision. Sometimes ambiguity comes in when we're making really big life decisions. Do I leave my marriage? Do I buy that house? Do I move to another city and take a job? Sometimes ambiguity comes in just the smallest little ways. I'm not sure if I want to go out for dinner. I'm not sure what I want to do tonight. In all of these different ways, we're working with the same thing. We're working with subtle layers of fear coming in and making it hard to make a decision. So those of you that know my work, and if you've listened to some of the other YouTubes, you know I talk a lot about a pain body. These are belief systems that we have subscribed to or been conditioned to believe in our lives that kind of represent a lot of fear. And now most of us have a constant play of lack and limitation and what we're supposed to do and what we can't do and this constant on play stories of fear. And on the subtle level, it is sometimes hard to notice if we're not caught in some big panic attack or we're not having some huge gripping fear movement. It's sometimes hard to catch. It's a little bit like people who are colorblind. It's always red in the background. So when they look at something red, it doesn't stand out. If we constantly have fear on play, on subtle levels of fear, it doesn't stick out so we don't notice. And that's really what's playing with us with ambiguity. So let's talk about how to navigate through that. Starting with 1. The first thing you want to do is you want to stop. So if you're out there in the world, that might mean that you step outside for a moment or pull the car over or excuse yourself to go to the restroom. If you're at home, you just need to find a quiet place of your own. And then you just need to take a couple of minutes to come into your body, come out of the head where the fear is on loop and come into your body. You can use any of the meditations that I have. There's a few of them here in this 5-Minute to Sanity series. Really just takes a couple minutes and you come into the body and out of the head. Then 2, what we need to do from here is we need to consider the options in front of us that we're trying to make our decision around and feel which one of them feels more delicious. Now that isn't from the head, that's the body. Delicious is a movement of sensuality. Which one of these options feels like a lot of delicious sensation? 3, if none of the options are presenting as an effortless feeling of delicious, what we want to do is, well, A, we could go ahead and take either option because none of them are going to be particularly fulfilling. We need to use clarity, and this is not clarity. So without clarity, we can't get to fulfillment. So none of the options are going to be fulfilling, but nor are they going to be disastrous. That would be highlighted. So it's not going to be disastrous. It's not going to be fulfilling. Go ahead and make either one of those decisions. They'll be fine. Or we can go with 4. Throw those options away because none of them really represent any real fulfillment. It may mean that they're not in right alignment with you right now. It might not be the right time, the right option, or they might just be completely off. In which case, throw them away for a second and come back into the body. And from the sensations of the body, see if you can imagine what would resonate as delicious for you just right now in this moment. Maybe it means that the restaurant is way too busy and loud and you would like a quieter environment. Maybe it means that that move across the country is actually way too much for you to do and you don't even like that job. Maybe it means, well, it can mean anything. So be willing to risk throwing it all away just for a moment to let yourself consider what would be more delicious. Now you have some tools. You can either go with what's delicious and make that choice, which will bring you much closer to fulfillment. Or you can make any of the other choices, but you already know where fulfillment is, so you understand your experience will be okay. Won't be disastrous, won't be fulfilling, but it'll be okay. So there's some tips and tools of navigating ambiguity, and we can talk in more depth and in more detail here in the comment section. Feel free to hit the subscribe button and make a comment. I read all of those personally and I can talk to you right there. Also, next week we'll talk about some more tools and tips for freedom in our nitty-gritty details of our lives.